Welcome back, resilient warriors, to yet another inspiring episode of Breakthrough to Better, your one-stop destination for personal growth and transformation. I'm Busy Babe, your host, and today we'll be delving into the magical world of gratitude, utilizing gratitude to attract more. On the journey of life, gratitude is not just an attitude, but a superpower that has the potential to transform our lives. It encourages positivity, fosters resilience, and attracts abundance. So this episode, dear listeners, is dedicated to understanding the power of gratitude and how harnessing it can open doors to more blessings and abundance in our lives. We'll learn to acknowledge our blessings, no matter how small they may seem, and use them as a magnet to attract more positivity and prosperity. So, dear warriors, let's embark on this journey of positivity and gratitude together. Remember, gratitude turns what we have into enough and more. Are you ready to unleash the power of gratitude to attract more into your life? Let's dive in right here on Breakthrough to Better. Yes, we're doing a giveaway raffle every week for those that leave reviews and comments below. This week's giveaway is brought to you by Layered Jewelry, affordable, stylish, quality pieces that let you express your unique style. This week's winner is getting a piece of their choice. All right, let's get into it. So, for today, we are going to be talking about gratitude. And I think it's a very interesting topic because we find it very easy to be grateful for things when things in our life are going well. It's very easy to point to a million things when your life is on the up, right? You can be like, I'm so grateful for this new job. I'm so grateful for this pay raise. I'm so grateful for this person. I'm so grateful for my friendships. I'm so grateful for this new house or this new apartment or, losing all this weight or a transformation that I made recently. Like, there are a million things to be grateful for when you are going through positive changes in your life. And not to say that there aren't a million things to be grateful for when you aren't in that positive transformation, but they're a lot less visible. I would say they're a lot less perceptible because when we are in a negative situation, it is very easy to see the negative and very hard to see the positive, even though there is probably an equal, if not more, amount of positivity in our lives when we're going through negative situations. We just don't focus on those things. And I would say that, we forsake a lot of things that are right there in front of us when we focus on things that are not in front of us. And there's two ways to look at that. So, yes, maybe you don't have the life that you want to be living right now. But that's not to say that that life won't be there in the future. And you just have to hold on and be grateful for what you have right now and knowing that you're building upon what you have. The second way to look at it is, yes, right now, you may not be seeing the fruits of your labor. But just because something doesn't work out the way that you want it to work out doesn't mean that it's not working itself out in a way that's even better for you. Sometimes what we want isn't what we need. And the universe will give to people who are grateful for what they have in their lives. I don't know if you've ever heard a podcast or a story or whatever, but I hear this quite a lot about this sort of analogy behind you have two kids and you give one kid, this great heirloom or whatever, and let's just say it's a pocket watch, right? And the one kid who receives his pocket watch will look at it and go, this is stupid. I'll never use this ever in my entire life. I have a phone. Why would I need a pocket watch, right? And they're not very grateful about it. And the other kid receives the same heirloom and he is just so lit up. He's so excited that he gets to inherit this heirloom, and he takes it as an honor. He's really grateful that he gets to pass down this tradition, right? So he walks away really grateful for the experience, even if he doesn't ever use it, right? And so the next time that there is something to pass down to these children, which of the two would you most likely want to pass it down to? Would you want to pass it down to the person who was ungrateful, or would you want to pass it down to the person who was grateful the first time? And most likely, you will say the person who was grateful the first time. Because why would you want to give to someone who's ungrateful? And we train our, if you want to call it higher power, universe, God, what have you, we kind of give them this indication that, well, yes, you've blessed me with this, but I'm not grateful for it. So, give other things to me anyway, even though I'm not grateful. It doesn't make much sense. If we were to look at it from a higher vantage point, we would say, why would anyone want to give me anything if I am so ungrateful for what I already have? And it's not to be all this, toxic positivity, like, hey, I have a house over my head, a roof over my head, I have, water and clothes, and, I can eat stuff when I want to. Like, I'm not saying that, like, you need to go and dig very, very deep for things that you're grateful for. There are many things that you don't have to look very far to be grateful about. And it is sad, but it is true that a lot of times we take things for granted and we don't know what we have until we lose them. And then when we have that chance to have that regret or that absence, that's when we feel the lack of the thing itself, and that's when we realize we should have been more grateful for it. And I want to encourage people to not have it get to that point where you have to lose something in order for yourself to see the value of it. We need to be more proactive about having gratitude for the things that are already in our life. And by having that gratitude, we will have even more abundance of that thing, because the universe, God, whoever you want to call it, will recognize that we are grateful for what we have and therefore want to give us more. And so I was listening to this other audio on YouTube, and he was talking about a story that actually comes from the Bible. And if you're familiar with the Bible, it talks about Adam and Eve in the garden, in this enclosure. And he put it in a different frame than I've ever heard it before. Basically saying that the only reason that they got to where they got to, thinking about, eating this fruit, forbidden fruit or whatever, is because they were so focused on what it is that they couldn't do. They weren't focusing on all that was in front of them. It's as if they had like 999 different apples in that garden, and there was one apple they couldn't have, and they forsake all of those 999 other apples and just focus on that one apple they couldn't have. And because they were only focusing on the thing that they didn't have, they forsake, I don't know the word for that, but they kind of just let go of everything that was right in front of them. They had all of this abundance, all of this, stuff right in front of them that they could have at any time for free. And yet they chose to focus on the one thing that they couldn't have. And that cost them everything. And I think that we can do that a lot in life. We can continue to focus on the things that aren't in our life, whether they aren't in our life right now, or maybe they'll never be in our life. But I feel like we should all challenge each other to be grateful for what it is that is right in front of us right now, because the only way that you're going to get to things that you need or want is because you are already grateful for what you have. It's a lot easier to show gratitude towards the things that you get in this life if you're already making that a habit when you don't have as much. There's a possibility that you do get what you want and you're not grateful for it and you lose it. So I implore all of you to be grateful for the things that are in your life right now while you have them. Because time is precious. We don't know how much time we get with people. We don't know how long a person is in our life, if it's for a season or for the rest of our lives. We don't know. And we need to be grateful for that time. When it comes to, objects or the pleasures in life, we can be grateful for those things too. Not everything lasts forever in that realm of life either. But start with the basics. Is there someone in this world that cares about you? Is there someone who is always looking out for your best interest without any hidden agenda? Is there someone who wants your best interest at heart and constantly is there looking out for you or giving you advice on what to do next or just having your back when no one else has it? Just the little things in life that we take for granted because we think, oh, they're always going to be here. That's not true. And I just believe that if we practice gratitude, we will get more. And it's kind of funny how, we can have all this stuff in our lives, whether that's material or whatever, but it doesn't mean that, we're actually grateful for those things. It can be very easy to get spoiled. And by spoiled, I mean having things in your life that you think that you are entitled to and not it's a right to have those things. It's a right to have a place to live, to be able to eat whenever you want, right? To have someone who cares for you. Like those things, you aren't entitled to those things. Just because you exist doesn't mean that you're entitled to those things. And that's what I think really what's being spoiled is. And when you're grateful, life opens up for you. Life opens up doors that maybe didn't exist before. And the way that you can practice gratitude, there are many different ways, but what I've learned is just by taking the time in your day, whether that's in the morning, the afternoon, or the end of the day, and really think about what is it that I am grateful for. Take that time to really focus in on the things that are in your life that you are so happy that they're there. And it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It could be simple. And just by taking that time and really focusing on what you're grateful for, you will feel a lot better. It is a mood booster, but it also reminds you in those tough times that there is something in your life that is worth celebrating. And when we can get to that point where we can't celebrate anything in our lives, that's when things get really dark. And I find in the darkest of times, being grateful for what you have in this moment, that will get you out of a lot of things. Grateful for friends, grateful for people who are on your side and will pick you up when you're down, grateful for friends who can make you laugh when you need it, grateful for hugs, grateful for the ability to feel everything that this life has to offer, whether it's sadness, happiness, joy, grief, just all of the things and not being numb to it all. Like, to feel every aspect of being a human. I'm grateful for that. And I think it's very easy to forget that we have these things to be grateful for. And so we focus, like I said in that audio, we focus on the things that we don't have. And that is a fast track ticket to having a horrible, horrible life. It is a fast track ticket to being miserable and depressed and full of anxiety and stress, and just nothing good comes of focusing on the things that we don't have. Yes, we can think about the things we don't have in a different perspective, as in, this is where I want to be, and I'm going to work to get that, or I'm going to work to go towards that goal or become that person. And that's great, because that's growth, and we want growth. But if you're coming at it from a standpoint of, I don't have this, and I feel like I will never have this, and there's no use in even trying for it, or if you think, well, I'll never have it, so what's the point? Or if you think, like, I don't have this in my life and this person has it in their life, so what's wrong with me? Or what am I not doing? Like, why am I not enough? Or if you come from it as an identity, it's very damaging to your self-image, to your perspective on the future, on life. And if you don't have some kind of faith or some kind of hope in your life, life can get very dark and depressing. But if you know in your heart that just because something isn't there yet doesn't mean it will never be, that can help you. There is always room for hope. There is always room for gratitude. And the way that we make room for the things that we want or need is through gratitude. Gratitude clears away all of the space that's in our heart that weeps and is depressed and is sad and is hopeless. It takes all of those nasty things out of our heart and our brain, and instead it replaces it with the space that is going to be filled with the things that gratitude is going to give us back. And who wants a heart full of nasty emotions? Who wants a heart full of just hopelessness and frustration and sadness and anger? No one wants to volunteer for that life. And so the way we do that is by recognizing what we have right now and taking the time in our day to be grateful. You can write it down in a journal. You can, say it out loud. You can do it in your prayer time. You can, just bullet it out if you want, even, like, just take that time. It doesn't have to be a long process where you take an hour and meditate and think of all the things you're grateful for. It doesn't have to be like that. You can just write things out in a notebook on a bullet point. 3 things that you're grateful for. And that will set you up for a lot more to come into your life. And I'm not going to sit here and say, tonight you write 3 things you're grateful for, and then tomorrow you're going to get everything you ever wanted. That's not how any of this works. But over time, once you teach the universe or God or whoever you believe in that you're someone who is grateful for what is given, they will give you more. And if you are not in this practice already, then I would suggest that you try it. Even if you don't get the thing that you really want over the next week or so, I bet you'll feel better about your life. It's a great great tool to give you patience during the time that everything is working out for you. The universe or God or whoever is putting everything together to serve you. This helps with the patience in between. It helps you to be like, okay, I understand it's going to take a while, but while it's happening, I have this and this and this and this, and I'm grateful for all of that stuff. And so whether it takes 2 days or 2 years, I'm going to be thankful for the time in between. I'm going to be thankful for the changes that come my way in the meantime. And, like I said before, maybe life has different plans than what we want, but it will be what we need. And once we have it and we realize that that's what we needed all along, you'll feel gratitude. And then the cycle just repeats. Keep being grateful. More things will come your way. And I don't think I know a single person who is successful who doesn't practice gratitude at some degree. A lot of people, they do what I said before, where they journal or they bullet point, or, they do it in the morning, they do it at night, whatever fits into your schedule or is best for you. Some people do it in the morning and the night because at the end of the day, they write down 3 things that happened that day that they're grateful for. Could be a person, could be a thing, could be an event, could be an idea. But at the end of the day, they're practicing gratitude. And that's really what sets them up for future success, future abundance, future attraction. And if you ever, saw the movie or read the book The Secret, you're familiar with the law of attraction. And just like the story I told of the 2 children, it's the same thing where you will attract more goodness in your life when you yourself feel good. And gratitude is one of those ways that you can help yourself feel good. Even when you're going through the toughest of times, even when things don't feel like they're working out, even when it feels like you're holding on by a thread, gratitude will bring you back to stable ground. And it'll keep you in the game long enough to see those things play out and to see you get what you need. And I think that's a beautiful thing. We have this tool at our beck and call whenever we want to use it, which is gratitude. We can use it whenever we want to get through those times where on the outside it may seem like we have nothing, but we have everything. And I believe that gratitude is the answer whenever anything is in your life that is making you upset or sad or angry or frustrated. Gratitude goes a long, 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 long way. So I just wanted to leave that with you guys because I myself am going through a time where I need gratitude. I need to really look at what is happening in my life and be grateful for it. And I know there are people out there that are going through that time as well. And I just wanted to share this with you because I think it'll help someone. And I hope that it helps you, wherever you are listening to this right now. And even if you're in the best place in your life right now, practicing more gratitude will get you even more of that. So it'll help everybody, honestly. But yeah, that's all for today's episode of Breakthrough the Better, guys. I hope you found some insights and inspiration from this discussion. And as we continue exploring life's lessons and turning them into stepping stones for personal growth, if you enjoy this episode, please spread the love and share it on your social media channels. Let's inspire others who also try for their betterment. And be sure to tag us and use the hashtag #BreakthroughToBetter. Every share, every comment, every review helps us reach more people and make a wider impact. And so Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and remember, when we get better, the world gets better. So thanks for tuning in. See you next week.